Hive in Virginia Beach, but unfortunately, she had slight car trouble last night and she wasn't able because now she's at work. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. But I gonna try to work and make sure I get you the information. So if you want to come out tomorrow, for all my entrepreneurs and all those that are in the community trying to do positive things and looking for assistance with what they're doing and starting a business or activity that they've been trying to get off the ground. And that's what the Hive is for. You don't have to be just in Virginia Beach. You're always welcome to come along and be a part of the festivities this Thursday from 6 until I think about 8. I'll say from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9. I don't know, whichever one they prefer, But nevertheless, go ahead and hit the share button and invite some of your friends over to the page because I want everybody to be able to get the information they need to be at the event tomorrow at the Hive. And just in case you don't know where the Hive is, in Virginia Beach, off of right on the corner of Independence. And if you was going to the Wesleyan Inn, it'll be where you turn to go in the Wesleyan Inn. You would park in that garage, either you're upstairs or you're downstairs, and you walk around the corner, and there it sits, right across from the Wells Fargo Bank in Independence, right there, Independence, right across from the Wells Fargo Bank. And this is what the building looked like, So let me give you a kind of a glance of what the building looked like so that you can be a part of the festivities tomorrow and let people be aware that, hey, we're going to do this thing and be there, because they're giving a Christmas party because this is the last event of the year before 2023 rolls around. And like I said, the Hive, the building looked like that's the corner of it. And you will walk around the corner from your left. If you're looking at it, it'll be from your left. And that's the garage right up top of it, right over top of it, where the Wesleyan Inn is right around the corner. You are parking that garage up or down, and it's free parking. And walk around the corner, and the Hive is right there on the corner. Yes, the Independence right across from the Wells Fargo Bank. The Hive is where businesses thrive. This building was open for minority and women businesses in the Virginia Beach as well as the 757. It doesn't matter where you stay. If you want to get information on how to get loans, do business with the city of Virginia Beach, because everybody that do business with Virginia Beach may not stay in Virginia Beach. And as long as you got your tax ID numbers and all that, your business license, you're welcome to be a part and use this service. You can also rent this place. I didn't put any pictures up for this program, but they got office space, conference room space in there, and you can reserve a conference room to have a meeting. They got computer access where you can do a presentation on the wall. You can reserve and a conference room to have a meeting. Okay, calm down. I thought that's supposed to be off. I apologize. But you can rent the conference room. They got one room that holds over 100 people. So whatever activity you're trying to do, they can facilitate. If you want a conference room that with 20 or 15 or 10 people, they also can facilitate you with that as well. And all you have to do is call and get and make reservations. The Hive is in Virginia Beach. It's a minority and, women business that wants to do business with the city of Virginia Beach. And if you don't have office space right now and you just looking to hold a meeting, you can use this facility. Thursday, I'm ahead of myself. Thursday is the December Business Network. And they were asking people to bring a gift, a little small gift or two, to, for the giveaway for Christmas for the kids. And that's all they're asking. They will have refreshments there that's free, food and refreshments. Oh, no, I don't think they're going to have alcohol, so don't get it twisted. Don't say Captain85 on the best of the 757 say, well, he said they're going to have refreshments. We ain't talking about that kind of refreshments. You know how y'all get it. Y'all think, you want bubbly and you want the bottle. Maybe a soda or some water. But this is December Business Networking. And the young lady that's going to be hosting this is going to be, I think her last name is Whitney. I ain't going to try to pronounce the first name, but this is what she looked like. This is her brand, Business Networking on Thursday at 6 o'clock at the Hive. So if you got friends and you want to know more about business, you want to know how you can get involved and promote your business, bring your business cards with your information on it, and you're able to pass it out. And it's more like a professional setting. You don't have to do like I'm doing today with a shirt and tie if you choose. But ladies, you can come by and do your thing. Once you get off work, that's why they schedule it so early, so you don't have to go all the way home and then come back out to be at this event. And there's always a wealth of knowledge there. There's always business people there that can help you get your business on the right track. If you need loans, they can tell you how to secure grants, loans, business loans, and with a very reasonable interest rate. So all that can be done. If you need help to fill out the applications, they can help you at the Hive. So it's time to get off the pot. Talk about nobody's doing nothing for us. We can't do this. We can't do that. The pandemic, all that changed. I was watching the Today Show. I don't know if you was watching it, but with hiring today, this guy was with a company or corporation that hires thousands of people. He said, we're not looking for people with a college degree. And some people are like, oh, I got to go to college. I don't want to get in debt. Nuh-uh. A lot of that stuff is going like water under the bridge. They are taking people that's willing to work in the facility or at home, and they will train you in what they want you to perform once you get a job. And I done did all kind of jobs. I wasn't just a nightclub owner or a nightclub promoter or a DJ. I worked in all types of jobs before I landed, and even after I landed in running clubs. And when I wasn't, active in the clubs or in school, I was telemarketing. I was a debt collector, get trained. I'm good at what I do. I ain't bragging, but I get the bag. I get the bag. I ain't got to threaten nobody. I never, as a debt collector, threaten a person. And I'm sitting around all these people on the phone, threatening people, yelling and screaming at people just to get them to pay a debt. If they had it, nobody wants to go through yelling and screaming and calling all kind of names. Just talk to people with respect. And this is one of the reasons we have problems in our community, because we told our young people we ain't got to respect the police. And most of the time, you respect the police. Most of the time. Sometimes they won't even give you a ticket. It's at their discretion when they stop you, if they give you a ticket or take you to jail. But it's your attitude. And like I tell people, when you go into court, stop doing everything but listening to the judge. Listen to what the judge asked the officer. How did this young lady or young man speak to you? If he said you was rough, the judge is not going to give you a tongue licking. He'll give you some time in the pen. I done been through all that. And I don't get disrespectful with nobody. But I like straightforward questions so I can give you a common sense answer. Don't ask me, the judge asked me one time when I was in court, do you know how many tickets or how many times you've been stopped driving on suspended license. I've been driving this since I was 18 years old. And here I am, 58 or 60 years old. And I'm supposed to try to remember how many times I got stopped. I'm like, really? I don't know. I'm not going to lie. He said, well, since you don't know, I do. And it was a kind of a long piece of paper because it was rolling back over. But I wound up getting 5 days in jail, 30 days, 30 days, suspended 25, 5 days in jail, and to pay a $200-some fine. So I don't like going to court, if I'm right or wrong. I just don't like wasting my time like that. And young people can live a long time if they just follow the rules of the police officer. Why you say that? Because one, the police officer is on the same level you is. He just got a badge. He works for the judge. He works for the captain. But really, to get it all down to where you need to know who he worked for, he works for the city manager's office. That's his boss, not the captain or the chief. The city manager tells them what to do and what they cannot do. So you have legal rights under the law to file a petition or a claim against any officer if he disrespected you, just like he has a right to put you in jail. But when a police officer has been out there for a number of hours a day and we are yelling and screaming and getting involved with all that, all we got to do is respect. We losing more young people, more people when police pull them over. Just stop. You're already dirty. Why are you getting in the mud? Ain't but one way you can get out. You either let him take you to jail, try to get somebody to bail you out, or sit there to your court date. Ain't no sense of being out there getting killed. Who you working for? Every time you turn on the news, we the only ones up there most of the time, shooting and killing one another. But Black lives do matter. I understand. But this young lady will be hosting this event tomorrow, and I think she's going to have some gifts or a raffle where you'll be able to win some of her products. I think I did put the product because she makes honey. Let me see if this is the right. No, that's the. I know I put it up there. I had it up there last night. You know, this is technology for you. As soon as you go look for, oh, here we go. She's going to have samples of the honey. I'm not saying she's getting you these jars right here, but you'll be able to purchase honey. And I like honey. And honey is better for you than sugar. Do you know you can put honey in your tea and even your coffee? Just sweeten it. You don't have to, put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teaspoons. Honey is real sweet. Maybe 2 teaspoons, sometimes 2.5. If you're drinking tea and you don't want to, get sugar diabetes, stop playing with yourself. But she's going to have some samples there tomorrow, and she will engage with information about her business and what she do, the December Business Network. She's going to be there on Thursday. And that's the website in the down below, down below City Council Sabrina Wooten's name, right below that. And that's going to be going on Thursday from 6 until, they usually keep it about 2 hours, or sometimes they go over because after everything is going, people are passing out business cards and letting people know about their services. And this is a great place to be. And, when you're trying to get the bag, ain't nobody going to get it to you unless you got the knowledge and information that you need to get out there and grind. You got to grind to start your own business. That's why a lot of people don't get in business. So I've been working this since I was 8 or 9, because I used to work around the house. And my mom used to give me a few dollars or a few coins for helping her out. I learned how to wash clothes, hang them out on the line, get them in and fold them. I learned how to iron clothes. And I used to cook when my mother used to go to church because she said it was too dangerous because we might set the house on fire. But I always like helping my mother out because that's all she did is clean the house because she was a housewife. And I just wanted her to be able to sit down and not had to do something sometimes when she came from church on Sundays. And my dad, he worked in the shipyard, he worked at the steel mill, and then he was out of work for like 7 years. And it was kind of rough. But back in the day, in the 50s and 60s, it wasn't expensive as it is today. And you know, and my mother's had sisters and stuff, and my dad had they from Mufflesburg down at Hosky, so their family had farms, and then when they, when the wintertime like it is today, they could kill hogs and pigs and you know uh, bag stuff and freeze stuff before the winter really got into play. So we always had food from our aunts and uncles, to tide us over when my mother didn't have money to buy. We go down there and they'll put about 6 or 7 chickens in a basket, put them in there when you get home. We had to kill them the next day. So a lot of people don't know about killing chickens and hogs, unless you're from North Carolina. Maybe that's the point. Maybe y'all need to go down to the country. Maybe you'll put the guns down and the knives and all this other negative stuff. When a chicken you chop his head off, you got to hold him while your mom or your dad chop his head off, and you can't let him go, because when you let him go after that blade hit his neck, he's flying all over the yard getting blood everywhere, even on you. It's not a nice sight, but that's part of living. That's the country. Can you feed yourself? These are the things our young people need to be learning instead than hating one another. I don't care who it is, if you're hating a black person or you're hating a white person, Chinese, Filipino, Puerto Rican. It's too many nationalities that try to hate everybody when they ain't done nothing to you, other than was born the race they were born. So we got a lot of work to do. 2023 is coming, and I hope that we can come together and do some positive things in this community for next year. I'm working on my project and hoping that I can make a difference in the community, and in the neighborhood, mostly the neighborhood, because this community stuff this is where the community got us. We don't associate. We don't talk to each other. All we do is argue, fight. Our kids are doing the same thing. They go to school, they arguing and fighting. When we had community, when we had neighborhood, when we had a neighborhood, we looked out for everybody. You couldn't do nothing wrong in our neighborhood because your mom gonna get the word. You gonna get your butt tore up. My dad didn't play. My mom would tell, "Oh, you did that in school? Oh, you was talking back at the teacher? Oh, you didn't turn in your homework? Wait till your dad get home." The system is set up so that the dads ain't home no more. That's why you got single women. That's why you got all the single ladies talking about, "I'm single. I got the bag. I don't need no man." Well, you don't need no man, but your kids do. Your kids do. Some are fortunate to have uncles and granddads and brothers that help out, look out for your kids. But when you thinking that you done turned the kid into the man of the house, you done turned the kid into the man of the house. And most ladies don't want to hear that, because you don't put the pressure on him to take care of the responsibilities that he didn't produce. Every child loves their mother. They don't want to see their mother doing a bunch of work. They don't want to see their mothers, scrubbing floors and then leaving the house and go get a job for somebody else to do some work. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? So when we do these things, we're showing our kids, it's okay for you to go out and do this and do that. But what happens with that, our kids then become responsible for the things that they are doing that they shouldn't be responsible for. I love kids. You know, when I did something wrong when I was married, me and my wife separated. It was my fault. I ain't putting the blame on her. But one thing I won't gonna do is let another man raise my kids. That won't gonna happen. I don't care what she called me, what name she called me, how angry she got upset. When you do something wrong, there's a fine line you cross. There's what they call punishment. And I don't like hurting people, but I know I had hurt my wife at the time, and that causes us to separate. But I won't gonna walk away from my responsibilities. I got 7 kids and I got 4. I don't have to tell you, but I'm just telling you I'm no different than you. I'm no different. We all fall short of grace. That's in the scripture. We all fall short. But the thing is, you got to be responsible and love your kids. They didn't ask to be born. Ain't now, child, you know. If you walk up to them today, I don't care if they 5 or 25, 25 or 40, they ain't going to tell you, you know what? I asked my mom and dad, could I be born? You know, that's why I'm with the family I'm with. I asked them. They said, okay, we want you. I know people that done raised foster children. One of my friends just adopted two foster childs. They sisters, and they're not another nationality. And she's already raised her son. She's always dealt with young people in the foster care system. And she works and have her own business. So proud of her. But I tell you this, we all can do the same thing if we take time out. Stop pointing fingers. You know, he ain't no good. Well, he had been some good if you started dating him. She had to be a good woman when you started dating him. We get emotionally attached before we find out what the responsibilities are. And the responsibility of being hurt and the pain is more painful than any other pain there is when you love somebody. When you love a woman or you loving a man. That's the most hardest pain there is. Because you don't know what you did wrong. You thought you was treating him or her just as respectful, letting them know that you love them. Somewhere along the way, something don't work out. You might get mad for a moment, but then you have to think, maybe we're not meant to be. Nobody marries a person or get involved with a person and then treat them any kind of way. That should never happen. But what should happen if you learn to love the person that you're with? That's all I know. Learn to love the person you're with. And when you do that, man, you know, the grace of God will help you and guide you through. It's written in scripture. You think the scripture is religion. That is a religion. What I'm doing right here, every day I come on and do my radio show, every other day I come on and do my talk show. That's religion. Anything you do on a regular basis is a religion. Don't think because you pick up that Bible, that's religion. That's not religion. That Bible is your roadmap for your daily walk of life here on earth. That's what you read to keep your spirit in the right place. I don't know everything. I ain't never tried to claim that I am or have. I was in a special education class until I was 7, till I turned 18. Then I got a job. Then I took courses in art, international art school. Had to read to get the lesson. Went there for 2 years. Went to Tidewater Community College and studied on High Street in Portsmouth at the courthouse. 3 or 4 months. Anson was working. But I was determined to be able to create paintings, sketches. Now, I ain't got rich from it yet. I'm hopefully that I will. Even with my comic book, I don't draw cartoons because that's not real. I draw real people. I hire people for my company to draw comic book characters. But what I do, because I am a photographer too, I take the pictures and the angles I want and take that picture and tell them to turn it into a cartoon. And I have been having a lot of success with the artists that I chose to represent my comic book. I give them a little leeway. But one thing, if you ever get an opportunity to get one of my books, which I'm in first of the year, I will be reaching out to those. I hope that you will buy one or two, the comic book and the coloring book, for yourself or for your kids. Out of all the time I've been working on these projects, everything that I started developing and researching, because it's called research, is going on today. And when I try to get people to understand is this stuff is not by no mistake. The gun violence, the bullying, it's become over excessive. And when you don't recognize that mental health is part of the culture today of bullying and gun violence, young people are seeing their brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, mothers and fathers being shot to death right in front of them. They're traumatized, afraid to go out, afraid when somebody comes to school, say, I'm going to punch you in your face or I'm going to shoot you if you don't do what I tell you to do. Who they going to turn to? Ghostbusters? They're not ghosts. Those are real people threatening the lives of young people. Because somewhere along the way, they have done the same thing, or the same thing been done to them. You're not born to be a bully. Your child is not born to be a murderer. Your daughter is not born to be a prostitute. All these things they are forced into. And sometimes they suffer in silence. And what, as a parent, you must do is pay close attention to the way your children act around you. Listen to the conversations. Listen to other people tell you about your kids. Don't be talking about my kid. He ain't done nothing like that. Well, I hate to tell you, you just wasn't there. But you'll find out sooner or later. I'd rather find out sooner than later. I used to go and cover candlelight visuals. And like I said, I study everything. A candlelight visual is where people come in a large number or small to pay homage to the person that's been killed. Celebrating his life because he's no longer here. I wonder, did you do that when he was living? Did you do that when she had a birthday? Celebrate her life to tell her she needs to turn it around because God got great things for you to do. Don't let the enemy steal your joy. We're allowing our kids' joy to be stolen. And that is what the problem is in our community. Mothers and fathers go to work, working all these hours. Next thing you know, they lose a child. I don't do this because I get paid. Most of the time I don't. But somebody got to do it. and look at it as sometime until you can afford to get the money you need to stop the problem, because you can't stop no problem in the Black community with lip service. Because if you did, why are we still on the news every day? All these groups around here with lip service talking about what they're doing in the community. And as soon as you turn on the news, an hour later, 2-3 people got killed. As the late great soul R&B singer Sam Cooke said, a change is going to come. We have to be that change. We cannot keep sitting here doing lip service. I keep telling you, I've been activist in the community here since I was a child. In school, I didn't ask for it. I was just there. As the old R&B or funk song, I was in the right place. Must have been the wrong time. I must have been in the wrong place. Now I got to do the time. God measure our footsteps. You might say, I ain't doing that. I don't want to do it. God said, you're a better person than that. I know I didn't make no mistake in giving you life here on earth. Ain't no way. But that is what it is all about. All the things that we go through is people pointing their finger at God saying, you don't have no control. But I know in that book, when he sent that flood that time with Noah, when he said it was going to rain, and he told Noah, get the animals, the people don't want to understand and obey, get 2 of each sex, 1 of each sex, pair them off, and put them in the ark, and close the door, and never open the door. Because if Noah had opened that door, he would have drowned, and his family and the animals, because he disobeyed God. Back in Pharaoh days, when Moses had went to the Pharaoh, said, let my people go. Who are you? What people? Who are you? He said, my God told me to come and tell you. What God is that? I don't know nothing about your God. I'm the only God here. Well, he didn't listen either. He lost a son. And then Moses told the Israelites and Hebrews, go in and close the door. And you don't know who you are. Unbelievable. You don't recognize who you are. Do your research. You'll find out who child you are. You're a son of man. Your God is a king. Your God created everything you see, everything you eat, everything you do. But it's another player in the game. That's Satan, who was in heaven and got jealous of God and saw that the humans was obeying God. He couldn't take it. They don't talk this no more in churches. They talk about getting the bag. Because the government said, don't teach about religion, teach prosperity. All you got to do is look around. When you go to a church, when you go to an event, what are they talking about? Well, God told me to tell you, sacrifice and do $1,000. We're trying to build this church. Well, okay. Take your $1,000 that you get paid and build the church. The church paying you got another job, and you still asking. That ain't what God intended. God give you your heart desire. And people might say, well, you're not a preacher. That's why I can say it. Because everybody ain't a preacher because they tell you they are. Because they ain't going to tell you the truth. That's why you didn't understand what happened to Wall Street. Wall Street was the black entrepreneurs. Them built a whole city. Had their own bus line, their own cab line, train, airplane. You know you're not supposed to be behind all that. But I can't tell you. If you live long enough, this will be recorded. Maybe one day you'll come back and look at it and say, hey, that guy was right. He was right. Do your research. It's on the internet. It ain't propaganda. The propaganda is you around here shooting one another. You shooting people that look like you. Right? I don't advocate to shoot nobody, black, white, Filipino, or Puerto Rican. I don't work. I have made money with all nationalities because they hired me to DJ. I played for one white family. They had 3 kids to get married when I met them, and I played all their weddings. The Koreans that owned the Blue Hawaii gave me the opportunity to run the Blue Hawaii after 10 o'clock as if it was my business and charged me very little for rent. I've worked in White Clubs, the Heartbreak Cafe, for over 8 years in Virginia Beach. And then when they went to Newport News and opened the Heartbreak, I went over there when they opened it because they were so crowded, and the DJs at the time was not thinking, because there's little tricks you have to use in order to get people to dance. You don't have to use profanity. You just gotta study what your audience like and what they are trying to accomplish when they go out. That's all. That's all I ever done. I get asked them questions. As an entrepreneur, we have to help one another. The average entrepreneur in the past, if they open up a new business in the Afro-American community, that business, if it survived 3 years, would stay open. In the 4th year, they would make a profit. All the money you making for the first 3 years, you're taking care of expenses. You got to believe me, it's in a book. That's how I got it. I read a book back in the day, in the 70s, 80s. I went to professional meetings like the one that's coming up on Thursday to meet people that were professional and listen to their stories. Find out what kind of business they was doing, as they call it in any business world. Let me pick your brain. I ain't got to pick your brain. I just got to read a book, because somewhere it's in a book. We want the quick route, the quick way. We just want to get it done. I have never broken rules, even though the cities of Norfolk, Portsmouth, no, not Portsmouth, I apologize, Norfolk and Virginia Beach and Chesapeake try to sabotage my character, because they said I was running an unprofessional building. And that's why they do it today. They do the same tactics. That's why all the clubs are closed, because they didn't want black people out going to clubs. I'm no different from anybody else. Black, white, Filipino, Puerto Rican. You just want to be successful at what you do. I think I've been pretty much successful. Some people might say different, but it's for the good of cause. It's for my community. It's for my neighborhood. Because they ain't got nowhere to go now. And if they do, it's less than 50 people or 60 in a building. The largest club that's open there is Broadway, but it done went through several different hands. Soul Food Kitchen, and in Chesapeake, Upscales, and I think in Newport News, the alley is still open. But back in the day, there was about 30 to 50 different Afro-American clubs open. And you got Lisa over in Portsmouth. What we have to do is learn to work together. You got a product, doesn't mean because you got a product, somebody else won't buy your product. This is the thing that we get into when we come to talking about being in business. Oh man, you got a t-shirt. I ain't letting nobody know you got a t-shirt. Look at my page. Look at any of my Facebook pages. I repost mostly other people's business pages or congratulating them. Because it doesn't hurt me because the world is too big. Facebook is too big. We all need to be lifted up. Because the Bible says, if you lift me up, I'll draw all men unto me. I know what it felt like to get COVID. 3.5 months in the hospital. Doctor said I may not make it. That's what he told my wife. I don't know. I know my wife told me 3.5 months after I was in. And I came home and had to go back for another 2-3 weeks because of heart failure. And I'm still recuperating now from the effects of having COVID-19. But God extended my day and time here on the earth. And I make a promise to God. Whatever reason I'm here, I'm going to do my best to accomplish it. I came for the children. Because you grown folks are grown. You're going to make your own choices. You're going to always, everything that you choose to do is going to be right. And half the time it might be. But somewhere along the way, you're going to stumble and make a mistake. We all do. That's why we're called human beings. Human beings make mistakes. I'm no different from you, and you're no different from me. You might be well off, and I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. I know I make it look good, though. Don't tell me I don't make it look good. You got to be kidding. You know, I got my black jacket on, my black shirt, a black and gray tie. You can't tell me I don't look good. But the thing is this. When the lights are down low, if I got dough or not, I'm concerned about the young people. I always have. God blessed me to have 7 kids, about 15 grandkids, and now 2 great grandkids. 2. The Bible says if you live the right way, God will bless you to see 70 years here on the earth. Last July, I made 70. The next level is 120. Moses made it to 120. I might make it. I'm planning on it. There's work to be done before I leave. Young people need to know somebody loves them. Young people need to know somebody's going to sacrifice for them and not blame them. Because ain't no child asked to be born. I don't know what part of that you don't understand. An adult to come teach a class. Never did that. Ain't no young person asked a person to give me your money. And then turn around. If you don't get it, they rob you. What is wrong with our future leaders Why are they so involved with negativity? Maybe because there's no love there. I do what I can to help people, financially, materially, or whatever I can if I got it. I can't take it with me. That's what our ancestors showed us. With all the treasures they go in the pyramid and find long, long after our ancestors are gone. All the millions and billions of dollars in gold. And we rather see our generation die in the streets, on the corner, take advantage of them, take things from them, threatening them, causing mental health and stress. And they ain't got no more than you. And if they got more than you, God bless them. He didn't tell you to go take it away from them because you don't have it. You got to grind. You have to grind to get a bag. It might look easy in the music videos, everybody popping off. But when are we going to stop popping and start looking? We ain't winning. There's no W in the column. We're losing too many young people. Can we take a break and evaluate the things that our young people are going through? Take a break and look at how they dress. Take a break and look at what they're listening to. The Bible said those that have an ear, let them hear. That is the reason I created WVDM Radio, to give you an alternative. And I'm not the only one. Millions of radio stations on the World Wide Web. But I promise myself, I'm not playing no negative music. I don't care who it is, what they all about. You can't be all about one thing and show another. Why don't you take a trip past the cemetery? As they used to say back in the day, you see more short graves than you see long. That's because our future is dying. Who problem is it? It's ours. Because all we got to show them how to respect adults, authority. Because you never know. The person you could have changed their life and you didn't might be the one that take yours. Kids ask to be loved. That's all they want. And yeah, you got kids, 2 or 3. Yeah, they want some nice things too. But don't you get yourself nice things? Don't you get that new pocketbook or that knockoff shoes? Yeah, you look good. But your kids are running around here threatening other kids to take their stuff because they don't have it. We got to stop pretending. Put the problem on everybody else. As the late, great Michael Jackson used to say, look at the man in the mirror. You have the opportunity to change things. You have an opportunity to mentor, if it ain't but one child or one man or a girl. You could change them and make a difference in their lives. Yeah, we all suffering from no finances. But we still have a responsibility to the planet. I love everybody, even though everybody may not love me. But I know this. I love my children. And I love yours. We have to learn to work to change the system. We have to work and change the way people see us. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You can support me if you like to send in some stars. Stars help me to earn money to make more content. Yes, I will start posting this starting this week or in January the 1st. Because marketing and advertising is the key component to changing the way our young people see themselves and to spark imagination and ideals. A gun is not going to do that. A gun is only going to take their chances away. In January, I'll be launching my comic book, The Real Adventures of Captain85, and my coloring book. Because gun violence is not just about the violence, it's a mental health situation. Our young people are dying because they know not what they do. They lack the knowledge. I'm telling you, I've been in the club business. I used to deal with people in the club that would take your life at a drop of a hat. Because they didn't understand. Today, we have to make them understand that we love them. And what pains a person more? Ask yourself. You should know. The most time, parents don't get along because they stop loving each other. Regardless of what someone do, never stop loving them. People have done me wrong, and sometimes I get upset. But I just won't talk to them because I'm not going to let them take me out of my character. I don't have to yell and scream, use profanity, or think negative of what you're doing. God gave you your life just like he gave me mine. And I'm going to try to live mine the best way I know how. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. And don't forget to join me at 3 o'clock today in about a couple of hours on the WBDM radio. And the link, if you go to my Facebook page, you will see a link. And you can click on it and it'll take you to my radio station. I forgot to put the link in here. Lynette, it's been a minute. How you doing? That's New York. That's my niece in New York. What up, what up, what up? Oh, because you beat me a couple of times in the word game. You kind of like broke camp on me. I might be able to whip you now. That's right. I ain't going to let you get away. I ain't going to let you get away. Love you to death. From here to the moon and back. That's my niece in New York. In the Bronx. That's what's up. I ain't been up there in a minute. Because with medical conditions, diabetes, neuropathy, I'm just trying to figure out how all of a sudden I get all these illnesses and I never was sick a day in my life. Can somebody explain that to me? Diabetes, neuropathy, then they try to say they got high blood pressure. We are nothing but guinea pigs on the plantation. Everything is $1 bill. But you know, when our ancestors was on the plantation, they didn't eat from the table. And they was the cooks and the farmers. They ate the scrap. Then I keep trying to tell people you should know who you are by the way you've been treated. Know who you are. They don't have to tell you. You're kings and queens. That's who we are. And that's changing. Because God's word never fails. It never go out void, turn back void. Whatever God said in that book, it's all going to come true. If he come back in a spaceship or he be reborn again, everything that he said in that book is for his people to understand who they are. Yeah, we might lose a few soldiers along the way, but we can keep uplifting them in spirit because we are spiritual people. You can't take this flesh from this planet to the next. Oh, I know. They got flying saucers now. They got rockets. Well, keep on with the keep on. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I ain't trying to go up there. If God want me up there, he'll call me home. See, spiritual people don't need a ship. You just know how God navigates you through the universe. The universe belongs to God's creation. But that's enough talk. Don't forget to join tomorrow if you're in Virginia Beach. If you want to know, the Hive is on. This is what the building looked like. When you see that sign, this is the building that you'll see when you get down to Lynn Haven, right there, Virginia Beach, right. There's 2 blocks from Virginia Beach Boulevard. If you're coming, just turn on like you're going back to Mount Trashmore. If you know where the Wells Fargo Bank is, it's right across the street from the Wells Fargo Bank. Either way you come, it's right across the street. And you park in the garage at the Wesleyan Inn. It's in the middle. Remember to love yourself and put God first, and everything else will fall in place. It doesn't matter what others think about you. It's what you think about yourself. Until 3 o'clock, I hope you join me. I'll send a link out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Messenger, links, wherever. YouTube, if you're listening, join me. Got a request? Text me on Facebook Messenger. Say, hey, can you play this song? If I got it, I will. If I don't, I'll send a shout out to you. Either way, I want you to be a part of the change for 2023. As Sam Cooke said, I was born by the river in a little old tent, but oh, just like a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Until 3 o'clock. And don't forget to join me on Thursday from 12 to 1 with GA for Justice, Georgia Allen, former president of the NAACP in Virginia Beach. Hey, and don't forget, next Tuesday, you got to vote. All right? Or it's today. It's one of them. Until then, we got to get to the polls. Bye-bye, y'all.